Hello and welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated to CBS's Big Brother Season 22 All-Stars. Now, just like my previous videos, I'm going to be doing a review and recap of the most recent episode of Big Brother. Then I'm going to give hand signals going into live feed updates, which there wasn't a whole lot to go off of because so much happened in this episode with the triple eviction, and then there was very minimal in what to do for the rest of the night. They played the HOH competition. We have a new HOH now, and I will get into all of that in the live feed updates. Now, when I say a review and recap, I am going to go through the games and how the night went and give mainly my review and the facts that happened, like who won, but I'm not going to go into great lengths and great detail to go over the questions and who got knocked off the balance beam and all that. I'm not doing that. That's too much effort. That's too much time. We're just going to get into it. So let's start off where last episode left off, and that was Cody not using the power of veto, and Kevin and David stayed on the block, and one of them was going to be the first person evicted on this Thursday. Now, we got a little bit more into what was going on leading up to Thursday night's eviction, but the one thing that really kind of irritated me was Dr. Will's like 15 to 30 second teaser and him saying like you had to think not one, not two, but 3 steps ahead, which got everyone thinking that this could possibly be a triple eviction. Some people were like, oh, it's guaranteed double, but some people were even thinking it was a triple eviction, which sucks. Why would you do that? Why would you even tip your hand just a little bit to them? Yes, you said Dr. Will was going to be on this week more, or we were going to see him more, but we didn't need a 30-second clip giving away one of the biggest things that were going to happen this season. I felt like that was dumb, but production has done more dumb stuff throughout this season and what happened in this episode. But we're going to keep going into it. We get to the first eviction of the night, and it comes down to a vote of 6-0 where Kevin was evicted instead of David. Then we move into the first HOH competition of the night, and this one was one of those competitions where you had to remember small, minute details of the 2 videos that they got from Dr. Will. And when it came down to it, Memphis won, and of course he put up David, and then he put up Nicole right next to him. We move into the veto competition, the first veto competition. This is the veto competition where Memphis, David, Nicole, Christmas, Tyler, and Danny were playing, and they had to run across these balance beams, turn their ice veto puzzles into fire veto puzzles, and then the first person to ring their buzzer wins the power of veto and can veto one of Memphis's nominations. First, I would like to say that Memphis putting up David and Nicole was very big eye roll, but Nicole is just sitting there right next to David, and we all know that Memphis wants David out. He's been wanting David out since week 2 for some reason, but now Nicole is just sitting there, an ex-BB winner or former BB winner just sitting on the block. Like, it is time to start making a move in this now triple eviction, but they don't know that just yet. We move through that veto, and Christmas wins it. Both Nicole and Christmas were going to their buzzers at the same time. However, Nicole had 2 of her puzzle pieces upside down, so Christmas is able to win it. You're thinking possibly that, hey, could Christmas use this on like David, because Christmas and Tyler were getting really close to David the whole week, and maybe she would use it on him, putting Memphis in a spot where he has to put up Danny next to Nicole, and then they can get out a real target. However, when push came to shove, Christmas decided to play a little bit of what I think is a scared game and decides to not use the power of veto and leaving Nicole and David up on the block. And then when they're coming back from the commercial after the veto ceremony, that's when it is done by production because they didn't get the back screening from Julie off the screen fast enough. That's when they were able to read it, and they were like, oh, it is a triple eviction heading into the vote going between David and Nicole. That is, I think, very, very important to notice and realize when going into this vote, because this is the vote where only 5 votes were going to be cast, and the swing vote was Enzo, as Tyler and Christmas voted to take out Nicole, while the Cody and Danny voted to keep Nicole, and Enzo was really the swing vote, and he is the diary room warrior. He will talk a big game, talk about blood, talk about wanting to flip the house, wanting to do chaos, but when push comes to shove, he doesn't walk the walk. the way he talks the talk. So when he was sitting down there, I think a lot of people were thinking he's going to use it to take out Nicole, get closer with Cody. However, by a vote of 3-2, David was the second person evicted in this triple eviction. Now people are trying to get their bearings, take a deep breath. However, there is just no rest for the wicked as we move on to the second HOH competition of the night. And in this one, you have to remember stuff that happened within the game, like did Kaser play in his first veto before Ian? And when did Julie say speculated and dreadful? Like, I would not do well in these competitions. Like, Julie asking you, hey, when did I say this random word before this one? Did I say this random word before this one in this, like, long speech that I've been doing all night? It is so weird. I would not do well at that. But the person that was good at this game was Tyler, as he won this HOH. And when he had to put somebody up, he decided that he is going to take the first shot at the committee. And he, of course, is putting up Danny and Nicole. We knew that was coming, and we knew he was going to take the shot. And so they are up on the block. They were going to get to be able to play in the second veto competition, which in the second veto competition, it was Tyler, Danny, Nicole, Cody, Enzo, and Christmas. I'm sure Danny and Nicole were really hoping that Cody would be able to win the veto, take one of them off, and forcing Tyler to put somebody else up there like Memphis or say Enzo, and then they would have the votes to keep their little trio, their love triangle, intact for another week. However, it just did not work out that way, as in this veto competition, you have to transport your fire veto puzzle from one side of the stage to the other, going across 2 balance beams. If anyone falls off these balance beams, you're completely out of the competition. You can only transport one piece at a time. And as they went through this, a few people fell, like Nicole, like Christmas, but somebody who did not fall and just had the winning touch in this second round of the triple eviction was Tyler, as he won the veto and did not use it, keeping Nicole or Danny up on the block, and one of them was going to be evicted. When it comes down to it, the vote is 4-0. Danny is evicted from the Big Brother house. On this final eviction of the night, I feel as though we saw a glimpse of the old Danny, known as Danielle, from her past seasons when she got up, blowing up Tyler's game, blowing up Christmas games, and really putting a lot of the blame on Tyler for wanting to quit that one time and really throwing them off. So with that being the case, Danny walks out of this house. She hugs everyone but Tyler and Christmas. And my favorite part of the night, I have to say it, my favorite part of the night was when Danny was walking out and then Christmas was like, I guess it's personal. And Danny was like, yeah, I guess so. That was the best. I'm not gonna lie, that was the best. And then she's like so frustrated, she's all discombobulated being the third person leaving, that she forgets to put on her mask before she even walks out of the door. I thought this was amazing. I really wish we got to see more of that Danny in the season than the one that we saw that was just kind of like chilling out, vibing with everybody, just spreading seeds of doubt instead of actually like getting in people's faces and making the moves that you needed to do. If she knew she needed to take out Christmas, she needed to make the move before this final 7, but she didn't do it. She is off to jury, and our final 6 heading into the next week is Cody, Enzo, Tyler, Nicole, Christmas, and Memphis. I thought that this was really kind of janky setup. It was 2 hours, but for putting the message from Dr. Will, like speculating of a triple eviction and then not getting the background off of Julie before talking to the house guests and getting that vote before Nicole and David. I mean, I feel as though that could have been the tipping point maybe, or maybe just Enzo's just Cody's puppet and he was never going to evict Nicole anyways. But it just seems like it was just a dumb move not to take the shot at Nicole, who is legit a threat, who has a lot more connections in the game than, say, David. But that's what he decided to do. I really think production is failing this season, like hardcore. I don't know what's worse, the cast or production, or they're both, because this season is just a raging dumpster fire. And what we should have had was an amazing triple eviction that was like a huge sideways, like T-bone truck smacking them all in the face, because this was such a momentous occasion, yet they keep on like showing their cards to everybody way too early. Make it a surprise. Instead, they decided to tell him all super early, and it just felt like this really went sour because they knew what was coming up. And that's why we got Kevin, David out 1 and 2, and then we got Danny out. Like, we should have had, like, a lot more fireworks going into this than what we got. But that is it. What did you think about this triple eviction? Let me know that in the comment section below. What did you think about Kevin, David, and Danny leaving the game? Let me know that in the comment section below. But now we're going into live feed updates. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of live feed updates to go over. Cody won HOH, and him and Enzo were talking in the HOH bedroom for a long time last night. I have a feeling that Cody could be taking a shot either at Tyler and Christmas because, hey, that's who put up his 2 closest allies in the house, or he could try to put up Christmas and Memphis because they have gotten really, really close over the past couple of weeks, and I don't think he's as strong with them or as close with them. Yes, very early on, Cody and Memphis made the commission. They made a final 2. However, with the new information that Enzo gave Cody in saying that, hey, he made like 3 Wise Guys alliance and you're not in 2 of them, I think that could be playing a factor into Cody's head, and that he's going to put up Memphis and Christmas. And if Christmas takes herself off the block, he could put up Tyler, and then everybody just gets rid of Memphis. So I'm praying that Memphis and Christmas see the block and that both of them will be on the block by Thursday night, and we are going to see one of them leave the Big Brother house. I would love to see it, but we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. The nomination ceremony is going to be later on, either today or tomorrow. Then we're going to get into veto, and then we're going to keep going on with this. But what do you think about this episode overall? Let me know that in the comment section below. What do you think about Cody being HOH again? Let me know that in the comment section below. And who do you think he's going to nominate, and who are you rooting for out of the final 6 to win Big Brother? I know it's slim pickings, but who are you rooting for? Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more Big Brother content, more content in general, but until then, peace.